William.
What's going on?
Listen, to look at me, you'd think I'm not right in the head, but the reasons for my condition are far more awful than mere madness. William, what I've discovered goes beyond understanding. You just have to believe me. We're all in the gravest danger. That's why I keep on looking, but the more I learn, the more this thing devours me. I've been sentenced to death, William. For our friendship's sake, I ask you to look after this. Don't speak of it to anyone. Don't give it to anyone. Not even to me. Especially if I ask for it.
Mr. William Stanton, I presume. Allow me to introduce myself. Dr. Robert Eagleton, physician and friend of Sir Christopher Wycherley. I would like to talk to you about his son, Edgar Wycherley, who, if I'm not mistaken, is a friend of yours. I know Edgar too well not to notice the signs of insane delirium. It's a unique case. The terror he's experiencing cannot be easily dismissed. Are you aware of the rumors circulating about Dr. Owens in Portuxet Village? I fear greatly for your friend. So do his parents, and some of my psychiatric colleagues are talking of internment. You see, I would greatly value your considered opinion. Please, would you pay him a visit?
Yes, of course I will.
Thank you, William. Here's my telephone number. Contact me as soon as you run into him again. Goodbye, young fellow. Thank you again for your help.
Please, I need information.
Yeah? Well, there's none here.
Please, sir, do you... That's not very polite. Excuse me.
Huh? What is it?
Do you know where Mr. Wycherley lives?
Huh? Wycherley? No, I don't know where it is.
Hello? Anyone there?
Be on your way, stranger.
Excuse me. Could you tell me where Edgar Wycherley lives?
Wycherley, eh? No. Don't know him.
Good day, sir. Do you, by chance, know where Edgar Wycherley lives, please?
Edgar Wycherley? Who might that be? No.
Excuse me, sir. Do you know...
Leave us alone!
This is the Stanton residence. There's a parcel for Mrs. Stanton.
No, I don't need anything.
Whatever the young man's looking for, he should ask Ma Brady.
I'm looking for Edgar Wycherley's residence. Do you know it?
For a few coins, kind soul. Go see Mr. Crumb at the grocery store. You can't miss it.
Crumb and Son, at your service. An excellent choice. That's $1, sir. Thank you.
I'm looking for Edgar Wycherley's house. Do you know it?
Mr. Wycherley, you say? No. I'd have to... Will you be needing anything else, sir? Edgar Wycherley, for the love of God. I'm only a simple grocer, sir, trying to make a living. What you need, sir, is a map. Then I can show it to you. This one costs $20, sir. Here you are, sir. I've marked the address you wanted with a cross. That's $40 altogether. Thank you, and look after yourself, sir.
Yes? Mr. Wycherley has gone out. Don't push it, he's out. The gentleman can't have heard. Perhaps young sir would like his ears unblocked for him. No? Let's scrap. Listen, my son. If you bother me again, I'll beat you to a pulp. Got it?
Mr. William Stanton, take a seat. I'm delighted to see you. Did you see my son in his new place in Pawtuxet?
Well, actually, no.
You used to be inseparable once. How I wish he hadn't abandoned his archaeology studies. How about you, William? Do you flit from one new passion to another?
No, sir. I've just finished my architecture studies.
First archaeology, then genealogy, then foreign travel, astronomy, and chemistry. Personally, I preferred his archaeology period. Perhaps because he used to speak of it with passion. But then it seems children become more reserved, more secretive with their parents. Can I offer you a soda?
Yes, I'd like that, thank you.
Edgar left many books and documents here relating to his recent research work. This is Gregor Herschel, who was a wealthy Providence shipowner in the colonial era. He had a daughter, who was Mrs. Wycherley's great-grandmother. This portrait was painted by Cosmo Alexander in 1765. Unlike my wife, Edgar loves this painting. It's a shame that he's not here to tell you all about it. Tell me honestly, don't you find the resemblance absolutely uncanny? I had hoped that you might bring some news of my son. I suspect that this chemist, Dr. Owens, is working him too hard. Dr. Eggleton tells me that his health has deteriorated over the last few months. Come back and see me whenever you want, William. Edgar hardly ever writes to us these days, so it's a real pleasure to chat with you about him.
Hello, my friend. Does the name Gregor Herschel mean anything to you?
How about that? Yes. Yes, but it's cheap at half the price. I have to make a living too, sir. Well, you seem to have the worries of the world on your shoulders. I'll do what I can for you. Let's see, that comes to just 50 cents, sir? A ship owner? See if he's known down at the harbor, sir. Cross the church square and keep going down. Best let sleeping dogs lie. By Christ, this business has the smell of sacrilege about it.
Pardon?
Straight on at the church, that's right.
Good day, sir. I was told that I might be able to get information here about a fellow named Gregor Herschel.
Gregor Herschel? That sounds familiar. Oh, yes. I remember now. He was a big-shot trader. Yes. He was in cahoots with all the Providence bigwigs. He had all dock and good business. I would have thought there'd be articles about him in the Providence Gazette before he caused quite a commotion in his day.
Good day, sir. Excuse me for interrupting your work, but do you have any articles in your archives about a fellow named Gregor Herschel?
It's surprising to see how Herschel still provokes a lot of interest today, but tread warily, for his is a tale of madmen. The last person to ask about him was Edgar Wycherley, an archaeologist. Gregor Herschel is a strange character from our town's past. He came here from Salem, where he had moved to from Oregon around 1713. He bought landing stages near Mile End Bay and made a fortune from the slave trade. In 30 years, he became the richest ship owner in the town, controlled a large slice of Providence's commerce, rubbed shoulders with high society, and got married to the daughter of one of its captains in 1767. He died in a fire at his farmhouse in April 1771, featured regularly in the paper from 1713 to 1771. Happy hunting, Mr. William Stanton.
So then, young man, how's your research on Gregor Herschel going? Well, I've been doing a bit of my own research, and I've discovered that he traveled widely in his younger days, that he stayed in England and made 2 separate trips to the east. But for some strange reason, he shunned the company of men. Although he never turned away a guest, very few folk were able to find a word to say to him. Have a word with Blackfish. He'll tell you all about it. He lives in that small house down there.
Mr. Blackfish? Well, I won't beat around the bush. I've come to ask you to tell me about Gregor Herschel.
My friend, have you not forgotten something?
Such as...
Do you have nothing to awl the tongue?
I do not, sir.
Then get the hell out of here.
Well...
Yeah, that's right. Make yourself scarce.
Well, I don't want to offend
Well,
you.
okay, if you want to chat, bring some supplies. Why don't you come back later?
Excuse me, sir. Do you have something strong that'll cheer up a miserable fisherman?
You mean hooch? How about this stuff? This isn't easy to come by. The way things are these days, there are stock problems and the suppliers are taking advantage. Not to mention the insurers. Yep, it all has effect on the price. But what the hell? I'm not in it for the money. I provide a service to my good customers if they show their appreciation.
Here, will that be enough?
Well, I'll be damned. You are a good customer, sir. I like people who show their appreciation. If you're in need of anything else at all, my pleasure, sir.
Y'all got the firewater, lad?
Here, and it's good stuff, too.
Good. So, do y'all know that at the time terrible things were being said about Gregor Herschel? He wasn't one to shy away from crime, and he must have made masses of dough. Everyone here has their reasons to look out for customs, my lad. At the time, the local businessman wanted to make a fast profit at any cost. Vessels would arrive in the bay at night, brigs and caravels overflowing with contraband, and secretly come ashore. You get the picture. Except that his cargo consisted of blacks from Guinea. They used to unload them to the north of Pawtuxet. There was a prison down there, a big stone building. At first, everything went fine. He wasn't the only one doing it, see? Except that one day it wasn't just blacks. On that day, the Navy were out for blood because of a Coast Guard ship that had burned. The Liberty. They spied a big merchant ship with its lights doused, heading for Naked Point. They followed it, then boarded her. Ah, good God. I'd like to have seen the face of the customs officer when he saw the cargo. It was Egyptian mummies. I'll bet he was well annoyed, because of course they were not illegal. As for the mummies, no one knew what they were for, my lad. Do you see what kind of things he was up to?
Mummies, huh? What a strange thing to smuggle.
That ain't the half of it. You know, the strangest thing of all was how often he used to replace his sailors. One crew would go on shore leave, some of them were laden with goods, and when it was time to sail again, there were always 2 or 3 men missing. The sailors are superstitious beggars. The tough sailors from the slave ships, pirate vessels, and the huge brigs of Brown, Crawford, and Tillinghast would make the sign of the cross when they saw the old man going into his warehouse in Doubloon Street. His mates and his captain detested him, but they were tied to him by the grip of fear. Nobody wanted to sail with him no more. His crews were made up of mixed-race sailors from Havana, Martinique, and Port Royal. Oh yes, the Port of Providence has seen goings-on strange enough to make your blood run cold. Not more than 1 month later, 3 likely lads, not the type to miss a voyage, were due to set sail on the Gaita. They'd been seen the night before, but the next day, not a trace. The sheriff turned up with his deputies, the redcoats, and they took the place apart looking for alcohol. That's right, they didn't give a damn about the lads. Then Smith was asked to put a notice in his newspaper, but there was no response. I'm pleased you take an interest in these things, but you need more detail to get a clear picture. Tell you what, I know a lad who can tell you all you need to know. Arthur Prokop. At this time of day, you'll find him in the Royal Standard. It's 20 yards back towards the church there. Tell him I sent you.
Thank you, sir. I'll find it.
See you again, sailor.
I was sent here by Mr. Blackfish. I'm looking for information about Gregor Herschel, a colonial ship owner.
Well, you've come to the right place, my lad. It so happens that my father's great-grandfather, Milius Prokop, had close dealings with him. I should have some documents passed on to me by my father. Give me a little time to look. Let's say tomorrow. Same time, same place.
I'm here to see how you are. When you came to my house 2 days ago,
I'm sorry, my memory fails me frequently.
When you came to my house, you seemed very disturbed, as if you were in some danger.
Forget anything I said to you. I was upset. Let's forget it.
Dr. Eagleton is worried about your health. So is your father. Edgar, are you sure everything's fine?
I'm relying on you to reassure them. Everything's fine now. Allow me to introduce you to my colleague, Dr. Owens.
Valenti non fiduciaria. Don't forget what we must do, Mr. Wycherley. Agit quod agis. I shall await you in the bungalow.
I'll leave you to your work, Edgar.
William, goodbye. Please be so kind as to give my regards to Mr. Eagleton and inform him that you yourself have observed that everything here is fine.
Hello, Dr. Eagleton? I've seen Edgar recently. He really does seem very disturbed.
Please stay at home. If you don't mind, I'm going to come and see you. We'll be able to speak about it more easily.
Hello, Doctor. You wish to have my opinion. I'm sorry to tell you that I found my friend far from his old self. At first, he didn't recognize me. He introduced me to Dr. Owens, who was even stranger than Edgar. As I was leaving, he seemed to be crying out for help. Then he proceeded to address me formally using a highly outmoded style of language. I am truly mystified. Could you enlighten me as to the exact nature of his research?
The first thing Edgar discovered amongst the papers of several Providence families was mail addressed to Gregor Herschel or written by him. These letters had been intercepted by the local population with the hope of finding out what he was up to. Then he found Herschel's work documents. Edgar revealed to me one day that the papers of his ancestor contained some incredible scientific secrets, for the most part written in a coded language, and that he was trying to acquire the ancient arts needed to understand what it was all about. He then explained to me that he was scouring the cemeteries for the gravestone of Gregor Herschel, which should bear an inscription made up of mystical symbols that he needed to decipher the manuscript.
The odd thing was that I had the impression that he didn't speak freely.
I fear that he's under the influence of this Dr. Owens. There's only one way to guarantee his safety: to have him committed. Thank you for your valuable help, William. Continue your investigations, my boy. We need to know what lies behind all this.
Good day, Mr. Wycherley. If I may be so bold, I would like very much to look at Edgar's research papers.
But of course, come on in. Yesterday, Dr. Eagleton spoke to me of the psychological problems Edgar is suffering from, and which, in his opinion, are partly connected to his studies. On returning from his travels, Edgar generally shut himself up in his room to work. He used to lock himself in and under no circumstances could be disturbed. He was deciphering photographic copies of an ancient manuscript. Then he began to get interested in chemistry and to hang around cemeteries. The acrid odors that sometimes came from his room were becoming truly intolerable. Edgar seemed to have gone out of his mind, letting out shrieks and having conversations when there was nobody there. On the 15th of April, I remember the date because it was Good Friday, Mrs. Wycherley was listening anxiously in the corridor to strange chants in foreign tongues and a series of syllables ending in ya, whereupon she fainted. That evening we had a lengthy conversation in the office, during which I warned him that, whatever the purpose of his research, I could no longer tolerate such conduct. It was on that day that he resolved to move to Pawtuxet. His room is upstairs, William. We have left it just as it was on the day he left.
Well then, young man, this should satisfy your curiosity. I found my ancestor's logbook, and I've had a quick look through it. It makes disturbing reading.
But who shall clip the wings of this bird of ill omen?
It talks of the underworld, monstrous creatures, striking bargains with devils. There are also letters of support sent to him by the local people, all of which are enclosed in an envelope addressed to the governor of Newport Colony. But you know it was never sent. Here it is. By Christ, lad, I had a very reckless ancestor. I'd heard tell of the fire at Pawtuxet Road Farm, but I'd heard nothing of these terrible circumstances. That place must be cursed for eternity. There's a bungalow now where the farm once stood. The current owner is a strange kind of fellow called Edgar Wycherley.
What gives you the right to enter my house like this, stranger?
Edgar, don't you recognize me?
Of course. Sorry about that. It's the old memory playing up again. Could you just remind me, though, why I asked you to come and visit
Be
me?
careful, Edgar. You're poking your nose into terrifying things that are tightening their grip on you.
Stuff and nonsense. The world of science is bedeviled by malicious rumors engendered by fear.
Edgar, what is the subject of your research?
I'm working on the discovery of knowledge that must for the moment be kept secret. Its revelation shall herald the dawning of a new era.
Are you sure that is for the best? Certain things should be consigned to the past so that the passage of time can erase them.
Some things are never erased. And this is no longer simply a marvel consigned to the past.
Well, I must return to Providence. Allow me to excuse myself.
By all means, give my regards to Dr. Eagleton. Don't lose any sleep on my account. Everything here is fine.
Hello there, young William. Any news?
Yes. I went back to Edgar's house and was able to let myself in before he arrived. This is what I was able to glean from the letters I found. Edgar has been carrying out the same research as his ancestor. He must have attempted and succeeded in an experiment that at first taught him some secrets before causing him to lose his mind.
You're right. It's increasingly apparent that he is mad. And this Dr. Owens appears to exert the most harmful of influences. Edgar must be protected. I would like to use your telephone to issue the sheriff with an internment order and to ask him to meet us at Edgar's house in order to nip any possible resistance in the bud.
Let's go.
Edgar, I'm forced to do this for your own safety.
By all the spirits at my command, I damn you. May Azeroth take you over. You shall remain enslaved to him forever.
I recommend that you rest before carrying out a detailed search of the premises. Each clue may be vital to us. I'll meet you back at your house. Rest assured, young William, he's in good hands. What have you learned?
This. I was able to search the house at my leisure. It seems that Dr. Owens has fled.
Unfortunately, that is not sufficient grounds for laying charges. We must turn his absence to our advantage. If we want real evidence of Dr. Owens' activities, the only place to find it is the bungalow.
I understand, Doctor. I'm on my way there.
of the netherworld greet their servant. The places of the netherworld greet their servant. What is your grade? Brother in Almusin, what do you want to do? Submit a spirit or use an enslaved spirit? To summon the spirits, create columns of... My thoughts are becoming blurred. There are items missing. The fluid is moving across two metals. The fluid must move across two metals. Just as the sun moves across the leaves. The places of the netherworld greet their servant. What is your grade? Brother in Almusin, what do you want to do? Submit a spirit or use an enslaved spirit? To summon the spirits, create columns of fire. Call the one that you want by his name. Protect yourself in a circle and submit the spirit by the sword and the names that he fears. Every planet has its day and its spirits. Submit the spirit that you have invoked to indicate the response to your invocations from his receptacle and obey your requests. Thus you can use this spirit whenever you see fit. You can then ask him to either possess the soul of a living being or the reincarnation of a dead soul. Between Alpha and Omega, the salts placed on the name of the dead man, the spirit will bring the soul that you have asked of him to the threshold. Make the offerings that are appropriate to the spirit before summoning him. And take care over the origin of the salts. What type is the salt that you wish to invoke? Is it a guardian or a mortal? Possessor of great knowledge, filter of experience, with a memory greater than the sum of all books. If you know how to question them, they will share their knowledge with you. You have in your possession the salts of a mortal who, amongst other subjects, possesses knowledge of the spirit world. Question Eliphas Levis. What is your grade? Brother in Almusin, what do you want to do? Submit a spirit or use an enslaved spirit? To summon the spirits, create columns of fire. Call the one that you want by his name. Protect yourself in a circle and submit the spirit by the sword and the names that he fears. Every planet has its day and its spirits. On Monday, summon the spirits of the moon. Fur is their master. On Tuesday, summon the spirits of Mars. Phaleg is their master. On Wednesday, summon the spirits of Mercury. Ophiel is their master. On Thursday, summon the spirits of Jupiter. Praetor is their master. On Friday, summon the spirits of Venus. Haggett is their master.
On Saturday, summon the spirits of Saturn. Araton is their master. On Sunday, summon the spirits of the sun. Oe is their master. Do not invoke a spirit more powerful than yourself. The humbler spirits are more accessible and still very powerful. In the light of this knowledge, have you decided to submit a spirit or use an enslaved spirit? 7 spirits are at your command. What do you ask of them? The possession of a living being or the reincarnation of a dead soul? Your act of possession of Edgar Wycherley is currently calling upon all of the forces within your power. This operation is irreversible. Attempt to submit other spirits.
Yain Engai Yog Sotot Hei Elgeb Nyai Trodog Va Ogtrod Aif Glebot Ai Yog Sotosos Engai Tro
I have nothing to do with Herschel. I'm trying to save my friend from the grip of madness.
Your friend is beyond redemption. Herschel is a sorcerer, a powerful and evil one. Death alone cannot destroy him. He can enter other bodies and possess those who come close to him. I know what monstrous forces this left-handed sorcerer seeks to unleash. He is holding me here in his clutches to try to force me to reveal a secret vital to his evil work. Just a few cycles ago, they succeeded in entering the netherworlds. They found the ancient cities and are trying to use the portal. The time is fast approaching when they can use them once more. They have to be stopped, or this planet will sink into the abyss. This is what has to be done. Follow these instructions to the letter. Herschel must be killed and his corpse dissolved in acid. The formula for using the portal is contained in the Necronomicon.
Who knows? Perhaps all that was devised by the wicked mind of Herschel before his death. And he planned to take over his descendants like this and travel from body to body through the centuries. As painful as it may be, we have to face the facts, my young friend. Edgar no longer exists. His memory has been erased. The man we know as Edgar is none other than Herschel, reassembling his army of the living dead to follow his diabolical plan. And just as Providence folk put a stop to it 150 years ago, so we must prevent it from reaching its conclusion by destroying it.
As I discovered in the bungalow, stopping Herschel isn't enough. He has his accomplices. We must also discover their objectives.
Exactly. And that's why we have to find the Necronomicon. It must be somewhere beneath the bungalow.
I don't want to go back there for fear of losing my mind. Let's share the tasks. You go to the bungalow, and I'll make my way to the asylum. I will question Edgar to find out whether he can be saved. If not, then I'll kill him. Edgar, I have returned from the underground passages. What terrible secret have you unleashed?
If that were true, you would not be here.
I found monsters imprisoned in open wells.
Hellfire and damnation, you wouldn't have thought such a thing could be possible. Those cursed creatures shrieking in the depths of their wells for 150 years, they're hungry. You could have satisfied their appetites.
What is the Necronomicon?
He came, and yet you still live. But don't forget that all the Stellas have been changed. Nothing is for certain until you have asked him.
You didn't answer my question. What is the Necronomicon?
May the plague strike you down, you'll never find out.
Now that we have found the Necronomicon, we must go to Providence Library. You're going to meet a friend of mine. Hello, Mr. Saunders. May I introduce William Stanton, who wishes to carry out some research that is a little unusual.
The Book of Dead Words. It's an arcane magic text that basically deals with necromancy. It begins with the story of an ancient, banished race long since disappeared. Unfortunately, it will take me more than a week to produce a quick translation of the whole of the volume, and we don't have that much time. You're going to help me. Search in the Occult Sciences section for material concerning death, spirits, or lost civilizations.
My friends, I must leave you to continue your work alone. I will join you again later. Until then.
What have you found?
It's strange how these symbols occur in a handwritten note in the margin of a translated page. Don't you see?
We have to unravel the meaning of the dragon and the goat showing 2 moons. Let's focus our research on magic tracks.
It is an incantation. All this speaks of great evil. These are the same runic symbols. I'm going to translate this page as quickly as I can.
Could it be that such places exist on our planet? I'm also going to carry out some research into ancient scripts.
Apparently, there were several great cities. These cities were sited according to a precise plan. Perhaps this is what Herschel was trying to do. Open the doors of the cities to make the old gods return. The translations that I have carried out in your absence are quite alarming. There are transmitters, probably 6, spread across the planet. We must find out where they are, and quickly.
shiver with dread when I think of the monstrous nuclear chaos that lurks, thankfully hidden, within the Necronomicon. It is what I saw in a flash of light that brought about the sheer horror that has since been my constant companion. The sight so paralyzed my mind that I'm amazed that I still had my wits about me sufficiently to take the correct tunnel leading to the entrance in the hillside. It must have been pure instinct that guided me. It's probably just as well that I wasn't depending on reason.